Hi, I am Dr. R. Sevagan from Pondicherry University. Now we are going to discuss about the cataloging process. So, as we all know that catalog is a tool that helps the users to identify the documents available in the library, and again it has to be a catalog is only the end product. For reaching that level, we have to do certain processes by which we can create catalog and make it available for the users. So, as far as the cataloging process is concerned, there are two activities involved in it. One is creation of entries based on the catalog codes. Then the created entries have to be arranged in a proper order into files. So, first one, creation is only for getting information about the documents to make it available. Then arrangement of entries refers to the making the created entries available for the users. So, these two are the processes involved in it. So, here we have to discuss about the inner forms. So, the physical forms of catalog varies, one is creation, the other one is arrangement. In simple words, we can define the term catalog as a list of books and other materials in a library or collection. The entries in the list are arranged in a helpful order. That order or the mode of arrangement of entries determines the inner form of catalog. So, in simple words we can understand that the created entries have to be arranged in a proper way, adopting some sequence by which the users or the staff will be able to retrieve or the identify the information what is available in the library with the help of the cards or any form of catalog that is used by the library. So, coming to the kinds of inner forms, there are three broad categories, namely alphabetical, classified, alphabetico classed. So, under alphabetical there are further divisions like author catalog, name catalog, title catalog, subject and dictionary catalog. Under classified there are two parts, one is classified part of the catalog and the second one is alphabetical part. Similarly, the third one is alphabetico classed. So, here the entries are arranged based on the subject, and for identifying those subjects we have to have an alphabetical index. So, these two form the alphabetical classed catalog. So, these three broad categories have to be discussed at length in this particular session in view of their merits and demerits. So, first one is author catalog. As the name indicates, it is generally accepted that author catalog is supreme in value and important because it is the only catalog from which a reader can be perfectly certain of ascertaining whether a library has a particular book or not, and also assuming that he or she has the author's name correctly, which is indisputable thing about a book. So, normally we can see when the users come to the library and approach either the catalog or the people, they will ask you first the author name, the book by author name, it may be full or it may be part, but we will be able to identify what kind of information they are looking for. There the majority of the access points out of various points, author is the widely used by the users. So, then catalogers have also felt justified in giving the author catalog first place, and no library is complete without some form of it. So, as I said before, the users are familiarized with the authors. So, for that we have to definitely have mandatorily the author catalog in the library. Simply for example, British Museum, which possesses one of the finest examples of printed author catalog and also provides an equally valuable subject index. And coming to the name catalog, the entries are arranged in a single alphabetical order by authors and of people written about, whether biographies or descriptions or criticisms of their work. Within its limits, it is a catalog of great value and one that may be used to advantage in conjunction with a classified catalog, taking the place of author index. So, coming to this title catalog, as the name indicates, the titles are grouped together and all those titles are arranged in the alphabetical order. So, that a person who is coming to the library with an option to search a document by title can approach this type of catalog, and they can easily identify the documents by doing this. And the totally documents available in the library are arranged title wise. So, anybody who wants to have the information based on the title can approach this type of catalog. And similarly, alphabetical subject catalog, alphabetically arranged all the entries, then under each subject. So, and under each subject to show on which specific subject or topic, and also with the help of chain process can be carried out. So, chain procedure here means that you have to, we will have links to the subjects and related subfields. For each subject we have to prepare entries, and it has to be grouped according to the subject, then it has to be arranged alphabetically, which will help the readers to easily identify the documents in the alphabetical order. So, coming to this dictionary catalog, it appeals particularly to people who want very specific information or who are not pursuing a detailed investigation of a wide branch of knowledge. So, here normally when we see the users coming to the library, the researchers or the teaching group, teaching community, academic community will be the people who are asking for the subject related information and the specific information for a detailed research. But when a common man comes to the library, they will ask for only the general information, like for example, the gardener who wants books on roses only. Similarly, a person who is doing this pottery, he may ask for some information on the pottery for on a specific area. So, like that we have dictionary catalog, and dictionary catalog will deal with the arrangement of entries in an alphabetical order based on the demands the users can ask for the specific piece of information with their demand. So, similarly, classified or systematic catalog. So, this is this was one of the catalogs which eliminated a lot of barriers with the dictionary catalog and alphabetical catalog, since it was arranged by alphabetical order, the grouping of subject was scattered. So, that was one of the constraints with the dictionary catalog. Then to overcome that, the classified catalog emerged. Here the entries are made under class symbols or class numbers. So, here the all the head title of the book is converted into some ordinal numbers using any scheme of classification. So, it may be either CC which is column classification, or Dewey Decimal classification, or universal decimal classification. It depends upon the library that uses the scheme. But here again the titles or the subjects are converted into ordinal numbers. Then according to the number, the books or the cards will be arranged. So, here the advantage of this particular classified arrangement is that the grouping of subject is taken care of automatically by classifying the numbers. For example, column classification, the structure of the schedule is arranged in such a way that every alphabet will have one basic subject, like for A general A, Z law, B mathematics, C physics, D engineering, like that. So, the subject books related to a particular subject, maybe physics, within that you will have sub groupings. So, all those things will be arranged here, and again the DDC scheme, that refers to the decimal classification, all the subjects are grouped under 0000 to 999. Simply for example, if there is a document on economics, that would be classified under the basic class number 330 according to DDC. Similarly, for labor and labor problem, which comes under economics, this is the subfield of it, that is put under 331. So, whatever may be the number of books or the authors who have written books on either economics or on labor and labor problem, that would be grouped under that, because every book written by any number of authors or any number of experts. So, that here we treat it equally by giving only the same number 331 for labor and labor problem. So, automatically it is accumulated at one place. the users when they come to the library, they will be able to see the related documents of their requirement. Not only that, when they come with some information to search for a document in the library, they will also get an opportunity to see the other related documents which are arranged in the library. That happens only by classified arrangement, classifying the documents according to any scheme. Then when it is arranged according to class number, all the books are put together at one place, by which the users will benefit by seeing the number of related titles together. So, Alphabetico classed catalog, it is an Alphabetico classed catalog. The headings of bibliographic records are arranged alphabetically, but the subject headings display the generic relationship of subjects. While this type of classed catalog is generally useful, it requires titles sometimes to be forced into the subject headings. So, this is particularly true for interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary works. So, this as I said before, alphabetical catalog or dictionary catalog will have its own limitations. Still, this alphabetical class, first it is arranged alphabetically, again the related index is also created based on the subject headings, which are created as part of the main entry when we catalog the documents. These are all the conventional formats what we have, and coming to the recent trends, those who doing, as I said before also, cataloging the documents following the rules conventionally. First one is time consuming, the other one is nobody can be well versed with that, and we also have to keep ourselves up to date with the recent developments to make it accurate, reliable, and for speed access, and also the simultaneous access can be made by different people. For that we have again certain tools which can be used. So, here the things what I have mentioned before, simply now we have different software package tools for library automation and digital libraries. So, library automation part takes care of even this cataloging module also. So, all the sections in the library are divided into modules according to the software tools that are available. So, this is a screenshot what you are seeing at the screen, data entry sheet to enter the bibliographic fields of a particular record, when the moment we receive a new document in the library, that has to be processed. So, while processing, the preparation of a catalog using the conventional sources, conventional methods is one procedure. To replace that, we have the tools like this ellipsis or any that Koha. We have so many software tools, even open source tools are also available freely. Those things can be used, but this is whatever may be the tool, whether it is open, free or licensed, they will have a window for entering the data like this bibliographic fields. Once you enter the data, that will reflect wherever it is required. We do not have to prepare a separate entries for author, title and subject, classified, all those things, that will be time consuming, and also since it is people involved in it, there are chances of errors. So, to eliminate that, this we have, once you enter the data, this can be. So, the entered data can be viewed by the users as a OPAC online public access catalog on the screen. Like you can see in the small window, within that window, like author, title, classified, subject, whatever may be the options, whatever the option known to the user can approach through that particular field or the option. So, when you click on that author catalog, it will look like that, and also you can select from the drop down menu. It appears automatically when you start keying in for a particular author, say for example Ranganathan, when you write RAN. So, the names which start with RAN will all appear down. So, from there you can select even that you can save time in keying in the full name. So, while keying in also there are chances of errors, manual typo error may come. So, to avoid that, this sophisticated feature which is available in the developed software now. So, this happens, the basic concept of this is that it is a database management system what we use in the library. Here the data, as I showed you that data entry sheet, there it is entered, that is only the front end you can enter the data into that. But when it comes to the backend what you are doing, what the technical people who are involved in creating these databases. So, the data are stored in the table. So, the table is the primary unit of physical storage for data in a database. Usually a database contains more than one table. So, this is the table is of rows and columns. So, this and also in the library, since we deal with a number of things, like publishers, books, customers, authors, inventory, orders and sponsors, many people will have that. We have to negotiate with so many people and we have to maintain databases for different stakeholders of our library, including the resources what we have. So, here creating a record for each one will be a cumbersome task, like we do it in the conventional method. Here only thing for book you have to create, which will have the sub tables like publishers, authors, inventory, orders and our users, all those things. For all those things we have to create a table separately and it has to be properly linked. So, this becomes the table with rows and columns and with entered data. So, here the particular column is called a field and the row is called a record. So, here for every document, instead of creating so many such records in the manual methods, we can create one record in only a single row having number of fields, any number of fields, like ASA suggests that you have to have 3 levels of description, first level, second level and third level. So, whatever may be the level, according to that level we can increase the number of fields, but in one row you can have one record for each document instead of having number of records for the same document at different places. So, that leads to the prone to errors. So, here the concept is that the moment we receive the book, we have to assign a unique number. That number is called access number. Once it is created, then you have to input or enter the related details to the particular document, but that number will remain same for a particular document and for other documents it will be different. So, here the customer ID or book ID, we say technical term access number, that is called primary key. So, primary key is a unique identifier of records in a table. Primary key values may be generated manually or automatically. So, it depends upon the database what provision you have created in the database at the time of development. So, primary key will have direct relations with that. So, simply for example, in the library we can say when we enter the document we use access number, and when it is the book is for verification, maybe for annual stock verification, again we consider that number, that a number was created at one place, but that is used at a different place. Similarly, the same number with the help of this number, the document is issued at the counter to a borrower. So, the one number is created at one place, but used at different places. For that what we have to do, we have to initially we have to create newly an ID which is called access number. That number has to be linked with the other databases also wherever it is relevant. So, that is called foreign key. This one has to be the linking of tables created for different purposes or different fields, that has to be linked. For linking we have different models like a hierarchical model, network model, a relational, object oriented model. So, these models again when we create that, initially it is almost like manual only. First, in the first normal form we have to create a raw database for each entry. The second level again we have to filter based on the commonality of the fields or the records. Simply for example, we may get 2 books, one on economics, the other one is on sociology from the same publisher. So, here for economics you will create once and for sociology you will create separately at once. So, while creating the record, the publisher becomes common. In that level, instead of having instead of typing 2 times of the same publisher, you can simply type 1 and wherever it is repeated you can use it repeatedly. For that you have to create a master database. So, like that you have to identify the common fields and that has to be properly normalized at the second level. At the third level, even except 1 or 2 fields, majority of the fields may be similar. So, those fields also we have to clearly identify, and that has to be normalized. If you do not normalize, the output may not be as expected, there it will have its own limitations, then that will be a that will be full of confusion, that will lead to the problems for the library staff and the users as well. So, for doing that, even in the technical things we have to do normalization. So, the normalized table after identifying this, like sales order, inventory items, then customers, clerks, order items. So, these all those 5 items were identified separately. We created the forms or the database for different things, but when it comes to the underlying things, when you look at that, it will have its own relations, like a sales order number you find at 2 places under sales orders and order items. Similarly, item number you can see at 2 places, item number and item number. For everything you will have item number, but when it comes to the normalization, the final table looks like this. So, this is the final outcome of this particular table. So, here one thing we have to understand, that the conventional methods are really important to know about the basics how we have arrived up to this extent. So, but when it comes to the modern or recent trends, here also we have to do certain things, but whether it is conventional or modern, the concept remains the same, only way of rendering the services would be different, using the this software or the package as a tool to inform or to persuade or to educate the users to make use of the libraries in the best possible way. So, here we cannot say that the conventional catalogs are cumbersome to develop. It is definitely easy to create, provided you have to know the rules properly. And also on the other hand, when we look at the recent trends, again we have to equip certain skills to keep ourselves up to date with the latest developments to enhance the services what we have in the library, to inform the users as quickly as possible. So, the tools whatever have emerged at present are only to enhance the speed and accuracy of the information, and also we can reach the unreached within the campus, we can make it available even without coming to the library. In the case of conventional catalogs, they always have to come to the library to approach any type of catalog to know about the availability of document. So, but in the case of this modern or computerized catalogs, they allow a user to even know about the document without coming to the library, sitting at their desktop, but just by one click they can easily identify whether the document is available or not. Accordingly, they can decide to come to the library whether to borrow that book or not. Even at times the computerized catalog tells the users if a document is available, whether it is available in the library or not, or if it is not available, where it is. So, it may say that it has been issued to somebody. If it is to issue to somebody to whom it has been issued, that also is made available, and if it is issued, when will it come back? With all these accurate details are possible to make it available for the users, only to save their time, energy, and this other constraints whatever they have in coming to the library. So, here we can conclude that both catalogs have their advocates who strongly support their favorites, while the opponents of the classified catalog argue that it was a complicated tool difficult to decipher by users. Its supporters have held the view which they constantly propagate, that there is no substitute for it, and there is a lack of objectivity on the part of both groups, because very few people are familiar with both types of catalogs. So, the dictionary catalog has certain weaknesses, but a carefully worked out network of cross can help reduce limitations resulting from the absence of a classified arrangement. However, there is no doubt that very often careless use of cross references can prove irritating the users. So, choice of catalog by a library would depend upon certain factors like the type of library, availability of printed catalog cards, types of catalogs used by neighboring libraries, kind of training of the chief librarian and the chief cataloger, and the attitude of the authorities. So, here it is very clear that conventional catalogs would definitely help us to improve the situation here, provided the professionals including librarians and the catalogers have to understand the need of the users. Accordingly, we have to create records for them to be user friendly, and by that they should be able to make use of the resources in the best possible and a simple way. I hope you have benefited from this by knowing about the conventional cataloging system and as a process, and the recent trends what has replaced those conventional methods by adopting software packages like open, free and licensed. So, with this I hope that you have benefited and you will implement this in your libraries. Thank you.